Very well, thank you very much. Now, the Rat has gone down with some sort of salty cough. Not quite sure.
Dodgy.
So we got the great Bish in. It's her debut on Sportsday, Michelle Bishop.
Off the bench.
G'day, Michelle.
14.
How you going?
Good afternoon. Good evening.
And good night, as
Well,
Jimmy
Brian,
Smith would say.
Not yet.
Hey, I'll give you some facts. So ever since Michelle started on her merry journey on the run home, our ratings have just climbed and climbed and
Yes.
climbed. So
Isn't he sweet?
expect the same sats.
We do expect the same, but she had to go through a filtering service about
Ooh.
aliens. Do you agree?
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's something out there or no?
Absolutely. I believe in
no.
ghosts, in aliens,
Stop
in the
it.
whole lot. Bring it on.
Okay, do you believe Gus Gould that there's nothing to see here, Michelle, regarding
Absolutely
Josh?
not.
Okay, there we go. Can you tell us what you know about the Josh Addo-Carr?
Well,
Is it a
what
rumour or what?
What I do know is I know that Gus is meeting with Josh Addo-Carr right now, so that'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. But, yeah, certainly some conflicting reports. And, guys, I'm not sure where you guys have gone with this, but I can only imagine that maybe Josh has gone back and said, we're all sweet, bro. No, everything's all good. So, obviously, left the captain's run on Friday night, was pulled over by police officers from the Auburn branch in Sydney's West. And obviously had to give a swab, or if that's what you do. I've never been tested, roadside tested for drugs, plenty of alcohol.
Tongue drag.
Yeah, well, whatever they do. The
Sorry?
Tongue, ooh,
Sorry?
yuck,
The
that
tongue
sounds
drag.
gross. A tongue drag. Never had that experience. But anyway.
Sounds sort of...
Any officers out there?
So just
Yeah,
on
in the
that,
tool-
Michelle,
in
right?
the tool shed.
I want to ask two questions. First one is, so definitely cleared of any alcohol breach, is that right?
Apparently that's the case, yep.
Okay. And the second
it's
one,
the-
I want to ask on behalf of both of you, because you've been involved in club management, Sats, and you've been involved heavily in the media at clubs, Michelle. So you say that Gus is meeting with Josh Addo-Carr now. What's the right way to approach this from the media point of view, from clubland?
Well, I think it's always to be upfront and honest with your fans, and I guess the club can only report what they've been told. But there's just not enough out there in terms of, facts. Like, we don't know that that's exactly what's happened. Josh has gone back to the club and said this is what's happened. So until we get the full story, but there's certainly something wrong, and you smell a rat of some description because there's conflicting reports. A 29-year-old man pulled over in Auburn, travelling in that direction from Accor Stadium, and all of a sudden the rumours circulate. You know what rugby league's all about. It's Josh Addo-Carr. This will be interesting. But I'll tell you what, I'd hate to be in the situation if I was Josh Addo-Carr and I was telling porkies to the club.
Yeah, that's the biggest concern.
What happened with young Braden Trindle when he got... Because Sugar and I were discussing it. He got found positive but just missed a week. Is that right?
Oh, didn't he go and do a stint in rehab?
Oh, is that was part of the punishment?
It ended up just sort of fading away, didn't it? We didn't hear much about it after that.
Yeah, I think, they can be really precious situations, to go into, but I think there was a couple of issues there, and I'm pretty sure he did a bit of a stint in rehab.
Who was that, sorry?
Braden Trindle.
Oh, Braden Trindle.
He was the same sort of test.
Yeah.
Right,
Yep.
gotcha.
Yeah, similar testing.
So this is...
What was it? The tongue
He had
drag.
he had a
I'm
high
obsessed
alcohol
with
range
that now.
too, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right.
Tongue
yeah,
drag,
it's
tongue
alcohol.
drag, yeah.
Anyway.
And from a club point of view, I mean, if it wasn't public and there weren't the authorities involved, I mean, at Clubland, you do everything you can to sweep it under the carpet. From a media point of view and from a public point of view and the fans' point of view, and you just handle it internally. And whether that is standing them down for games, giving them official or first and final warning, whatever it may be. But when the authorities are involved, there's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is you can front up and you can say, listen, we're going to support the player to the point where we're going to make a decision internally about what our next action can be.
But also, just further to that, I think that you'd have to look at the clubs individually. And right now, the situation where the Bulldogs have, find themselves, they're in the finals for the first time in 8 years or so. They've won the fans back. It's such a great vibe.
And he's due back this week, isn't he?
He is due back this week. Obviously, been out injured with, Bronson Sherry's due back. It's massive for them, but to come out and not tell the fans the truth, the club would lose in a big way. So I'd say there's a little bit more to play out in this story, guys.
By the way, he's entitled to his innocence until we hear otherwise, and I very much believe that. Just on this, less than 24 hours, Teamlist Tuesday will drop for week one of the finals. Like, what's the timeline typically on these types of things? And would we expect him to be named, or would we definitely expect him not to be named?
Well, there'll be a second test. They'll probably
but
demand a second
I
test.
don't know that'll come back
in time.
in time.
So you would think, based on what's happening at the moment on the first test, that he would be named and expected to
have to.
play.
It'd be unfair for him not to, until proven guilty.
What would you do? Okay, Fletch and Sugar, if you guys were, well, coach or general manager, CEO of the Bulldogs, and the second test did come back positive before the weekend, do you stand him down or not?
You know,
if it comes back positive,
yeah.
I'd just say, you know what I'd say? I'd just say, look, be honest with us. Tell us the whole truth, and be completely honest. And
what if you can't handle the truth? Sure.
And if they, and we're going to back you because you are entitled to innocence. But if it turns out that you're lying to us, you can expect that contract to be gone. That's probably how I would handle it. I'd like to give the player the benefit of the doubt.
But if it comes back the second one positive.
So can I ask this on the second one? So you say a second test. Surely he doesn't go back in with time having lapsed.
They go
to
sample. They go to the police station and they do it in
Yep.
the police station and they send it away.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's got to be from a laboratory.
Yeah.
Laboratory.
So it's the
Not a
same test
lavatory,
retest,
a
is that what you're saying?
laboratory.
What's it called? I can't even say it.
In the lab. Just say the lab.
Yeah,
Back to the lab.
So
Meth
based
lab.
on that then, very rarely is a test 1 not being followed by the same result
Correct.
as test 2.
Yeah.
Is that
Exactly.
fair?
Yeah. Whether you can prove that it was contaminated or whatever it may be, it very rarely does.
Okay.
Hey, boys, we've got some pretty smart listeners. I'm just reading a text to you. Boys, I've had a tongue drag from a drag whilst having a drag.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
bizarre. That's
Okay,
from Sharpie
Now,
from Campbelltown.
Bish, just to let you know, if you see Sharpie from Seatown, do
Yep.
not read out
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one of his milder ones, but he
Right.
can sometimes go a little bit out wide.
Lundy
Sharpie,
makes
if you're
a
out
good
there,
point.
Sharpie, if you're out there, just give Michelle one of your best.
Yeah, Lundy makes a good point because Bish is setting in for Rat. The real test is, does Bish have a cat story?
Oh, yes.
So Rat's got a cat story. It's the worst story you've ever heard on radio.
Oh.
So bad.
I hate
So
cats.
bad. Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Hate's a big word.
If there was a stronger word, I despise cats.
Hey, what about Sacred Delago? Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Badly ridden.
I tell you what,
Badly
rank.
ridden.
Sacred
Rank.
Delago didn't pep up like 049 reckons. Hey, Fletch, you reckon Sugar peps up when the Bish is on?
Oh, yes.
Good on you.
Who was
Of course
that?
you do, Chad.
Of course I do.
you
It's a gun. Good on you, folks. Have a great debut tonight, Michelle. Good on you, Sats.